Hello guys, it's Rachel, what's up, and welcome back to my channel. And today we are making this adorable cake inspired by one of my absolute favorite cereals, which is Froot Loops. Now, I don't really know what a Froot Loop is made of. I assume there's very little fruit in the process. It just kind of tastes like vaguely fruity, mostly kind of like sugar, but I think they're so good. So today I thought it'd be fun to make a cake inspired by Froot Loops. We have not only a super cute rainbow decoration, but the cake itself is also flavored like cereal. The cool thing is that this would really work with any kind of cereal. Go nuts. You want to make some kind of kashi flavored cake, you could do that too. But yeah, whatever floats your boat. I hope you guys enjoy this video though, and make sure you tap that subscribe button and turn on those notifications as well. And without further ado, let's hop right into it. Alright, so to start off, we're gonna need the best ingredient, which is the Froot Loops. I was so excited because I hadn't had Froot Loops since I was like 12. This video was basically just an excuse for me to eat Froot Loops. If you haven't had these, I think the taste is hard to describe because it's artificial and not really a flavor like found in nature. But yeah, we're gonna start off by making something called cereal milk, which basically means getting 1 cup of buttermilk and then adding a ½ cup of Froot Loops to that. You're gonna stir that around and then let it sit for about an hour. It's kind of like you're steeping the cereal in the milk to just infuse the flavor so that our final cake just has a really good punch of that fruity cereal flavor. After an hour, just strain out the Froot Loops. I don't recommend eating the soggy Froot Loops, not that I tried one. The other little bit of Froot Loop prep we have to do is to make the Froot Loop crumbs. As you can imagine, this just involves turning the Froot Loops into crumbs. I did this using a food processor, and you want in total 2 1/4 cups of Froot Loops. And now we can get started on the cake. You're gonna need 3 cups of cake flour for this, along with 1 3/4 cups of sugar. You also need 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a ½ teaspoon of baking soda, and then 1 teaspoon of salt. Once you have all your dry ingredients ready in the bowl, just go ahead and whisk it all through, get it combined, and then we're gonna add in 1 stick of softened butter that I've just got chopped into cubes. And then using my electric mixer, I'm gonna go ahead and mix this all through in a process called reverse creaming until it kind of has the texture of Parmesan cheese. And then we can do the wet ingredients. For this, you need 4 room temperature eggs, along with 1 cup of our cereal milk, a ½ cup of canola oil, and then 4 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Once you got that ready, go ahead and blend it all through, and then just pour it on in with the dry ingredients. Grab yourself a spatula and give that all a fold through. Looks good, and now it's time to add in those Froot Loop crumbs from earlier. I know this seems like a lot of Froot Loops, but just trust me, my goal for this was that when you bite into the cake, it just tastes like straight up Froot Loops in cake form, and I found that 2 1/4 cups is the perfect amount. Get that into your cake pans, and then you're gonna bake it off at 350 for about 35 minutes. And then once your cakes come out of the oven, they should look something like this, nice and golden brown on top. Then I'm gonna run a knife around the edge of the cake pan and then go ahead, flip it out, and now we have our beautiful cakes all ready to go, so we can go ahead and start assembling. Before we do that though, we wanna make sure our cakes are nice and level, so I'm gonna grab a wire cake leveler and just level off the top. And now it's time to fill and stack the cake. Just spread a little bit of buttercream in between each layer and then stack it up. If you're looking for a really good buttercream recipe, I'll put mine over on the blog post, but it's really nice and light and fluffy, not too sweet, but with a good vanilla flavor too. Once you have all the layers stacked up, you're gonna go ahead and do a crumb coat, which is just a nice thin layer of frosting to lock in all of the crumbs. Once you've finished with the crumb coat, just pop that into the fridge for about 15 minutes, just so that crumb coat can firm up some. And then we can do the final layer of frosting. That just means piping frosting all around the whole cake. Then grab an offset spatula and just start smoothing it all out. And then I also like to grab one of these longer cake icing scrapers to just get the sides nice and smooth. It doesn't have to be perfect at this step because we are going to be scraping off more frosting later, but just get a nice relatively even layer. And then for the cool part is to add on these stripes around the outside. To do this, I have this really cool icing scraper that has the little teeth in the side. And what you can do with this is just use it to scrape off some of that icing to give you those gaps in between. And then once you have those grooves, you can just grab your rainbow of frosting colors and just fill in all the stripes. And that's it. No, just kidding. Okay. Pop that into the fridge for like 15 minutes or so, just so the frosting can firm up. And then we can scrape off for our final layer of frosting. This is the really cool part. Now at first, when you start scraping off the frosting, it's gonna look like blurry, but just keep going and the lines will be nice and neat and crisp. And then once you're happy with it, just flatten out the top and you are ready to go. Now it's time to make some final decorations. I decided to put a little cloud on top because clouds and rainbows kind of go together. And so then I made this using some Candy Quick just on some parchment paper. And then I also just wanted to add a face on the top just to make it really kawaii. So I did that with some more melted chocolate. And then to stick the cloud on top, I created some more like little blobby clouds just using some more buttercream. Then I dipped my finger in some water and just kind of smushed those down. And then to give us some contrast, I just added some more rainbow sprinkles on top. Then I stuck in the cloud, which is a little out of frame. And then just for fun, I also added this gold heart in the side just for some, I don't know, like more color, I guess. And that's it. That's how you make this beautiful Froot Loop cake. This thing, I mean, just looking at it, like it just looks like happiness. Not to mention the fact that the cake really does just taste like Froot Loops in cake form. So I hope you guys enjoyed this cake. And now that our cake is all finished, let's hop into the outro. Alright guys, our Froot Loop cake is finished now, and this was so tasty. Like I said, it really does taste like Froot Loop in cake form. It's super nostalgic and I think it's really fun and colorful too. And so I hope you guys enjoy. And if you like this video, make sure you tap that subscribe button and turn on those notifications as well. You can also follow me on social media at Kawaii Sweet Eats, and I'll see you all back here very soon. Bye guys!